Hello and welcome to Cheeky Scientist News. I'm Isaiah Henkel. Let me ask you a question. Is your nasty digital profile keeping you from getting hired? Let me explain. Maybe you've been uploading resumes, not hearing anything back. Or maybe you were hearing back from employers, but you stopped hearing back. Or worse, maybe you had an interview or a few interviews, but you can't get past a certain stage. You think the interview went great, and then you hear nothing. They ghost you. If that's the case, that company is likely reviewing your digital footprint and they don't like what they see. Maybe they see posts on controversial topics. Maybe they see your overly open and sharing post in a private Facebook group. Do you really think those are private? You should talk to somebody about how private an incognito tab is on Google in terms of the search history. Not private at all, by the way. We'll talk about that. You might be thinking, well, I'm just posting anonymously in forums. Guess what? Those anonymous posts are being screened by employers too. So let me tell you how this works. And first, let me share this incredible article, right, that really spearheaded me down this entire path. And this is something that PhDs, people with higher education degrees, need to know because we're encouraged to speak up and we write a lot of content. And too many of you are writing too much stuff online, right? You bashed a restaurant you didn't like on Yelp. Well, an employer is going to see that. And what are they going to think? You're going to troll them, right, if something goes wrong, and they're not going to hire you. So the data behind all of this is shocking, and I'm going to dig into it. So this is in the Temple News from Temple University. Protect your digital footprint, protect your future. Right? It talks about how up to 90% of employers are screening your digital footprint beforehand. And this has been posted, right, the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Forbes, the New York Post, all kinds of in-depth articles on this, that this is happening. And most of us in academia, right, if you're still in academia, are oblivious to it. A lot of us haven't caught up to just how advanced AI is because it's not just looking at your digital footprint now, it's looking at your linguistic footprint. As it can tell you, if it sees any public post from you, it can use that public post and then find all of your anonymous posts too. This AI can create bot-driven accounts, usernames, get into private groups, whether it's a private Facebook group, a subreddit, a LinkedIn group, and it can find your anonymous posts. This is where we're heading. So you need to take your online presence very seriously. You posted 3 years ago, right, on a controversial topic, right? You spoke your truth. Well, you're not hired now. And companies aren't going to talk about this publicly, right? Just like if you don't get hired, you always hear the same stock legal things they can say. You didn't have enough skills. You're overqualified. You're underqualified. They're not going to say, well, we didn't like your digital footprint. Are you crazy? Why? So you can, again, troll them if you're the type of person that was trolling other people. This is a serious issue, and I like this article because it talks about having good online etiquette as the only solution moving forward. You might think, okay, well, that's one article, but this has been written about a lot. Right? Fast Company did a great report on it. Your forgotten digital footprints could hurt your job prospects. Here's how to act now. I really like this article. It talks about, and this was written about a year ago. I pulled it because it's a great review, and it shows how long this has been going on, and most of us don't know about it. So this says up to 80% of companies, it's over 90% now of companies are doing this. So if you're not hearing back, that's the problem. Do you know what's posted, what you've been posting, what you posted years ago? That stuff doesn't go away, right? If you go to the Wayback Machine, you can see, right, websites that were what they looked like 20 years ago. Okay, so you need to take this very seriously, and you need to start protecting your digital footprint, improving your online etiquette. And as I mentioned, this is something that a lot of us coming out of academia, we don't realize. We got a lot of extra time in our department, our lab, during our research to write really long posts to tell people how we feel about a particular topic. We want to show they want to, debate ideas, and that's great for academia. And the employers, they don't want to see that. Not if it gets nasty, not if you're being contrarian very fiercely. And you don't think it's mean, but to the employer, it will come across as mean, okay? The social norms in academia, let's say, are different than the social norms in industry, right? There's a clear difference in terms of just politeness, at least on the surface. So you got to start taking this very seriously. I love this article too, 12 reasons to research a job applicant's digital footprint. You don't think employers are doing this? This is written by employers for employers in Forbes, right? All 12 reasons why they're being encouraged to do it. Number one, online information can indicate overall company fit. Digital resources showcase their differentiating factors. You can weed out potentially problematic candidates. That's number three. That's the real reason, right? Again, even if you bash a restaurant, no matter how bad it was, it doesn't matter. It's the same reason you don't go to an interview when they say, well, why are you leaving your position? I hate it. I hate the people I work with. Toxic work environment. Okay, well, why are you telling a stranger that? It's called professionalism. In academia, we wear a belt on a good day. Okay, stains on our shirts. There's a different culture. In industry, a higher level of professionalism is required. There's a lot at stake, right, for the company. A lot of money goes into hiring a new candidate. You have access to a lot of very proprietary things. What kind of person are you? They're going to keep digging. This is never going to go away. It's just going to get worse. And the rapid AI advancements, crazy things are happening. And that's what I want to get to next, right? This is in Campus Technology. There's another article that was written similar to this. I'll talk about in a second. This is called AI Writing Detection Tool Analyzes Linguistic Fingerprint, right, to check authorship. As in, once they know, they have like a paragraph in a comment you wrote on social media, public somewhere, something you forgot about. They can find all of your anonymous posts. A similar article came out recently about how AI cracked a double-blind study and was able to identify abstracts, right, that had no authors attached to them. They were able to tell who all of the authors were in an abstract with no authors listed, so an anonymous abstract. Okay, this is already here, so for those of you that are, again, you're just letting it all hang out online, that's going to result in fewer job prospects. It's going to result in you not getting hired. It's probably the result of a rejection you've already had. And it's just because of how ubiquitous this is. These articles, over 90% of companies. And I bet if you're watching this, you may have never thought about this being a problem. It's a rampant issue that you need to pay attention to. I'm going to go deeper into AI and how AI is keeping a reputation score of you. This is something I've been talking about for almost 2 years, and now it's in big media. This is in the Washington Post, okay? One of the largest media sites in terms of circulation or hits on the website in the world. Your resume isn't the only thing popular job sites evaluate. Okay, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, Indeed, they're not just evaluating your qualifications. They're keeping a reputation or visibility score. So I'll tell you how this works. You upload a resume. If employers, right, reject that resume, your score goes down. If you've had many resumes rejected, and if you haven't had a resume responded to, like if you've uploaded a resume not responded to, that's rejection, okay, whether you get something back or not. Your score continues to go down. If your resume is approved, if it gets looked at, that'll help your score go up. They're using historical data, and they're sharing it across platforms. This stuff can be shared between a ZipRecruiter and a LinkedIn and Indeed and the company's own ATS systems. There is an ATS ecosystem, right? Your reputation score is shared across it. So if you've been rejected, you did the shotgun approach, right? Uploaded your resume hundreds and hundreds of times, and you're wondering why you're not hearing back. You've destroyed your reputation score. You're sandboxed. You're at the bottom of the search results. It's a very interesting article. It talks about this. Some of the companies are saying, well, we do things to kind of scrub data and give people a fresh start. Yeah, right. Okay, there's too much money involved. Nobody wants to hire somebody that everybody else has rejected. Companies don't want to waste time scanning candidates. Like the companies are paying, right, these ATS system providers, they're paying for it. Not you, the job candidate. You get to use it for free very often. Okay, they're paying for it, so they're going to try to keep the employers happy. If they waste the employer's time by showing them, right, resumes from somebody who clearly doesn't know how to write a resume, didn't take any time targeting it, a resume from somebody who's rejected by everybody else, they're going to lose their company clients. Another article by the same author, and I think she did a great job here, Danielle Abril, improve your chances of getting noticed by AI on job sites with these tips. One of the things it talks about is train the job site's AI by not having a garbage resume. You can't find out your score, by the way, so don't waste time. Unless you can convince LinkedIn, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, the company's own proprietary ATS systems to share their algorithm, right? Good luck with that. They're not going to share your score. You can't ask, what's my score? Why? You just have to do things better. Get the training you need, right? The understanding, the knowledge you need. Do a resume. Spend the time that it takes to do a better resume. Reach out to people as well. Don't just rely on these AI systems anymore because they're not on your side. A similar article on Entrepreneur, taking the shotgun approach to job applications could be a major career mistake. You think so? The shotgun approach, again, for those of you that have applied dozens of resumes, right? even a handful, you're hurting your reputation score. That's why you're invisible. You got to make changes. Okay, I do want to talk about one last thing here. Should you tell the world you're out of work? This is a great article about that open to work circle on your LinkedIn profile. Okay, when it comes to AI, this used to be a great way to increase your visibility, but you want to go against the tide. Okay, so when the job market was really hot a couple of years ago, having open to work, great idea. Now it's flooded with these green open to work circles. So the advice now is to turn off open to work. Okay, go in the opposite direction. You'll still be found, okay? It actually talks about how the visibility, it's not going to help you in the visibility settings as much as it used to. And there's so many people putting open to work on their LinkedIn profile that it might be better to choose that other option where you just allow yourself to be found in the LinkedIn recruiter database, right? But you don't have that green circle around your face. So something to think about. This takes us to the end of today's news show. Stay on the cutting edge. Stay current with what's going on in the job market. Get hired into a great career for you. And we'll see you next time.